We're surrounded by it. Every piece you touch, it's plastic. Like your grocery bags, your food containers, your coffee cup lids, even your drinking bottles. The list goes on and on. Plastic may be convenient, but it carries a high price. From the article Plastic Pollution in the World's Oceans in 2014 by Erickson and Carson, estimated at least 5.25 trillion plastic particles weighing 268,940 tons were floating at sea. Think about that. That could be from your own home. By working as a volunteer in my hometown, picking up trash, and doing additional research on this topic, I encourage you to recycle so it doesn't end up in our oceans. I'm going to issue the problem, the solution, and what kind of actions you can take. As Earth becomes more and more populated, the need for recycling is very high. From the article, American Waste by Aaron Michaels in 2012, America makes up 5% of the world's population, but produces 30% of the world's garbage. And only 2% of that 30% actually gets recycled. So that's our main problem. We use so much of this plastic, but we don't plan on recycling any of it. But it's not only plastic that's not being recycled. From the book Questions About the Ocean by Harold Dubach in 1968, sewage, fertilizers, soaps, detergents, oils, tars, grease, and plastics are all found in the ocean. Let me remind you that that book came out in 1968. Imagine what it looks like in 2016. Pollution starts on land and is carried by wind and rain to the sea. This waste is always accumulating. And plastic is so durable that the EPA reports that every piece that was made still exists today, which is from the website biologicaldiversity.org in 2013. So if this problem still exists, where is it at? It's in our sea life. Our sea life is getting tangled in it and is always being killed. 28 elements from our periodic table are found in marine mammals' tissues, which is from the book Mankind in the Oceans by Owada and Adele in 2004. They also explain that a fourth of California's fish had plastic in their guts, in their stomachs. From the website biologicaldiversity.org in 2013, this trash is also found in sea turtles, seabirds, and other large marine animals. From the journal Moore and Ryan called Ocean Pollution in 2014, 60% of those birds eat the plastic, so they're mistaking it as their food. And it's estimated to increase to 99% in 2050. If it's just in these species, what is it actually doing to us humans? That brings us to our third problem. As plastic floats, the toxins like PCB, DDT, and PHA are found in our ocean. They cause chronic effects like your endocrine disruption, cancer-causing mutations, which lead to animals eating that and those toxins coming into their stomachs. As those go through their stomachs, goes up through the food chain, and that plastic eventually breaks down in the ocean, which comes as a chemical BPA. As that enters the food web, it will eventually enter onto your plate. If you eat seafood, most of that seafood comes from fish that have eaten the plastic and has those chemicals in it, which is from the website plasticpollution.org in 2014. If I don't want this on my plate, I would not assume that you do either. So here's how we can stop it. There are many ways you can do this and preventing it from the future. We can recycle more. And in this, I know that every freshman at Winona State University got 2 different bins in their room. One is for trash and one is actually for recycling. So that plastic water bottle that you just threw in the trash needs to go into the recycling bin. But it's not just that. You should recycle everything in your room that you can possibly think of that could be recycled, not just your plastic water bottle. You can also buy reusable water bottles, like the ones that are BPA free. Someday, I would like to see a lot of what Earth has to offer, especially the oceans. From this, you should recycle more, reuse your water bottles, or buy the BPA-free ones, and you should also volunteer, because I would rather see this ocean than when you don't recycle, the problems will get worse. More and more people equals more and more trash, which means more ends up in our oceans. As you see this, our sea life will end up declining, and will become to extinction. So I would rather see the first picture than the second picture on my oceans. If we definitely don't want this effect, we can stop this. So I encourage you to recycle so we don't have ocean pollution. Here's what you can do to help. There are many petitions out there to reduce the amount in factories, and the government will regulate plastics as a pollutant under the Clean Water Act. The petition up there is by biodiversity.org, and it campaigns for the government to suggest to other factories that pollutants as a plastic is bad. You can buy reusable water bottles that are BPA free. You can also volunteer to pick up. Organizations like Adopt a Highway are a great way to start. You can also tell your friends and family to recycle as well, and even do it today in your dorm room. Lastly, I encourage you to volunteer or simply start recycling to help our environment, specifically our oceans. Remember, a little today can be a lot tomorrow.